Hello everyone and welcome to Weling Student Press Network's live coverage of Weling Varsity Basketball. My name is Aditya Weling. Alongside me is Gabe Likerman. Today we'll be covering the Weling Warriors against the Bedford Buccaneers. It is finally time to start Weling Girls Varsity Basketball season. The first game postponed a little, but we're finally here. Gabe, what are you looking for?
And I'm looking for how both these teams are going to start off the season, especially, we're all Wayland over here, how Wayland will start off this season. Of course, masks still required due to COVID at ETI. You've seen some fall sports which are outside, they don't have to wear masks anymore. But since this is inside, the MIAA have required masks to be worn while playing. So we're going to see how players adapt to that. Obviously, maybe playing in your free time, you don't wear masks. So we're going to see how both teams adapt after not playing a full season.
Yeah, no doubt there's going to be a big change there. Announcing starting lineups here. Biggest change, though, has to be the fans. Fans allowed back into the building. Gabe, how do you think that's going to affect this game, especially this Wayland team who, they had a good season last year, but you can always tell when there isn't energy and fans in the building, and that was certainly lacking last year.
Well, it's going to give this Wayland team a huge buzz of energy at ET. They're going to have energy from the fans. They're going to feel it on every single play, and it's going to fuel them to see their friends, their classmates, their peers cheering them on, staff members even here. They're going to have these guys cheering them on outside the classroom. It could spark some really nice energy for this team.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't look like we have full capacity here. Those used to Wayland games of old are used to hearing those sounds, which are just raucous. But now announcing Wayland starting lineups, you hear that big cheer for these players, and anything is good to help morale. Obviously a team probably not. They don't need it too much. It's not going to affect the game too much. But Gabe, like you talked about, it helps a lot to have people cheering you on, especially your classmates and community members, who you see every day.
And here's Sammy Johnson finishing Wayland's starting lineup. She'll be at the 5, I'm guessing, for Wayland.
Yeah, and teams lining up across from each other. I believe this will be for the anthem, and it will be. And with that, we are ready to tip off Wayland Girls Varsity Basketball here. First game of the season at home. Team breaking it down here. And some fresh faces, obviously, for Wayland, losing some seniors from last year. But nonetheless, excited to start another season, and so are we here at Wayland Student Press Network. Going to start the boys' season later this week, so looking forward to tipping that off.
Now, as you can hear the fans cheering their girls on, this is going to be a great game at ET. I can feel it.
Yeah, I can see the team getting hyped here, and it's going to be a hard-fought game, Gabe. Just like I believe both these teams are just revved up, energized to start the season. See how the pace starts, because that's often how the game will continue. So if these teams are flying up and down the court, then we can expect a high-flying game throughout. To start, Wayland will have Sammy Johnson out there, I believe Haley Melvin, who was their top scorer and probably their best player from last year.
Lila Powers filling in at one of the forward spots. Abby Renneker, a sophomore who is getting some playing time early. And Anjali will play at the 3, I believe.
Yep, and we're off. Haley Melvin taking it right to the basket and quickly gets the foul. And Gabe, she was the MVP of last year, and that wasn't really in question. She was just attacking, aggressive, and just draws a foul right there. What do you expect from her today?
I expect her to have a big game. She's the leader. She's the captain of this team. She's one of the captains with Sammy Johnson. I expect her to have a big season and starting it off right where she left off last season with a big night here.
Yeah, Sammy Johnson, you see there, is matched up against a Bedford Buccaneer there, number 25, who seems around the same height. So that's going to be a battle down low for both rebounds and positioning in the post. Calling for it now. Switched onto a smaller player, but now switches back. Here comes, I believe, Powers, who will draw the foul. So 2 fouls early here on Bedford. Wayland, aggressive attack in the basket, and 2 at the line for Powers. And like we talked about, Gabe, early on, you can hear the crowd for Wayland hyping up the team. And there on the left, at the left side of your screen, you'll see the boys varsity team who are cheering on their fellow varsity squad. So always great to see that. And Wayland, with Powers making both, will go up 2-0. And Bedford's first offensive possession here. Gabe, what do you think Wayland needs to do defensively to pull out with a first game W?
And I'm thinking man-to-man, just the most simple defense. Just stick to your man, and it works there. Renneker taking it up the court.
Yeah, Renneker on a taller player, which means they're going to try to get Johnson back in the post. Interesting matchup here for Bedford. They're not putting number 15, who looks like the tallest player, on Johnson. Instead, they're going to put number 25. So
maybe that has something to do with strength at Aditya. We don't know.
yeah.
But because Johnson, she's big, not only in height, but she's very strong.
Yeah.
And she can do damage in the post if you give her the ball.
Yeah, both teams matching up here man-to-man like we talked about, Gabe. So it's going to be a hard-fought game and an aggressive drive there. Beautiful move. Takes it right to the basket. And this game will start out with free throws on both sides. Wayland up 2-0. A little over a minute in to this so far.
And I don't know, but what I'm seeing is some rust at Aditya. These girls,
Yeah.
they haven't been making their shots. They've been getting fouls and getting to the line. Some both rust in the offense and the defense's part.
Yeah,
so.
no doubt. And Gabe, what you're there is the Wayland fans action again, making their presence heard. Here.
And you expect this in the high school audience.
Yeah.
She is unfazed making the free throw.
She goes 1 for 2. Wayland lead cut in half here. It's 2-1. Powers on the wing. Gives up to Johnson at the top of the key. Melvin makes a hard move right to the basket. And it'll be out of bounds. Wayland ball.
Great defense there by Bedford on Melvin. She's hard to stop when she's driving towards the basket, and just great defense there, getting a hand on the ball.
Absolutely. And get it into Johnson, who works back for positioning. Almost had a layup there. Wasn't able to handle it. Melvin for 3. In and out.
And that was a tough shot from Melvin from deep range. That was a couple feet behind the three-point line.
A
and
beautiful
great
pass there. Give and go. Back out to the corner. 15 off the rim. But good offense there for Bedford. Nice little give and go. And Powers now.
And on that pass, defensive possession for Wayland, a little sloppy, leaving some players open.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there, but Powers gets it back, and I think there'll be a travel on her. So Bedford will get the ball back. But Gabe, like we talked about, Haley Melvin has some range, taken after her brother, Jack Melvin, who certainly had range for Wayland's boys varsity squad. So got some shooters on the court for Wayland. Bedford's taken, I believe, 2 threes too. So this looking like an inside-out game as Wayland gets a steal. It'll stay Wayland ball.
That's
Good job there.
Anjali. Great steal by her. And now Wayland will inbound this. And Renneker will take this up the court.
Yeah, it looks like Renneker, after Melvin brought it up the first couple times, will be running point. So waiting for some action to happen. Pretty congested there in the middle. Let's see if they try to open things up here for Wayland. Renneker still with it at the top.
Melvin, hard drive.
Melvin, oh, and Powers able to keep it. She'll put it up. Almost there. Powers fights to get the ball back, won't get there. And it's a jump. And it'll go to Bedford. So not much, movement there in that offensive possession for Wayland. A lot of congestion, and it leads to a jump. Bedford now bringing it up, trying to take the lead.
What I saw a great move by Haley Melvin off the ball, and that's a three. Bank shot three.
The bank is open for Bedford, so that'll give them the 2-point lead here. And as we pass 5 minutes left in the first quarter,
yeah, as I was saying,
Powers being hounded by most recent shooter. And she gets a steal here. She takes it all the way and is fouled. So number 10 for Bedford is playing great early on here, and that is not a good sign for Wayland. They need to be able to contain her in order to come out of this with a W.
That was a smart foul there on the fast break. He didn't want her getting an open layup. No easy buckets here in the Wayland Dome.
Absolutely, but she is unfazed yet again by the crowd noise. She knocks the first one down to give Bedford a 3-point lead. We'll try to make it a 2-possession game on this second free throw, her 4th of the night. And she cannot. So 5-2. Johnson outlets to Reniker, who looks to take it up. Nice move. Unable to finish, though. Tried to capitalize on that Euro step, but now Bedford pushing. Trying to make a pass there is number 10, who will put it up. And an offensive foul. Great defense there by Powers. And it'll be back for Wayland. But Gabe, early on here, we see, like you talked about, some rust. What do you think Wayland needs to do to shake that off and take control of this game?
I think they got to keep playing their game, keep playing some nice defense. They've had some nice defensive possessions. They got to keep doing what they're doing on that end. On offense, just keep taking shots. You got to shake off the rust. The only way to do that is to keep taking shots, and that is a drive and a foul called on Bedford, and Anjali will head to the line.
Yeah, almost finished an N1 there, but rimmed out. Regardless, it'll be 2 for Anjali. We'll try to cut into that Bedford 3-point lead as we are halfway through the first quarter in this. Again, if you're just joining us, you are watching Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of Wayland Girls Varsity Basketball. You are watching the Wayland Warriors against the Bedford Buccaneers. My name is Aditya Weling, and alongside me is Gabe Likerman. And Anjali, number 23, makes the first one for Wayland. Now we'll try to make this second one. And she will. So Wayland has made all 4 of their free throws, I believe, so far, which are the points they have on the board. So it is 5-4 Bedford as Johnson gets a steal. She's been active early on. Controls it, gives it to Powers. We'll give it around to Melvin. Melvin, no hesitation, and off the rim.
That was a good shot there by Melvin. I really like what she's doing. Being aggressive, shooting the ball, really getting into the game. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, now active hands again here. Wayland is just crowding lanes, and it'll be Wayland ball, I believe, or I think Powers thought it would be, but it'll be staying with Bedford.
Reniker has been really active early. She's getting a lot of playing time starting on this team, and she's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
You can just tell what the coach thinks of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and travel there, a little bit of a delayed call. We could see she took that extra step before getting rid of the ball. So Wayland, after a couple lapses defensively early on, are just putting the clamps on, getting active hands in the passing lanes, forcing these Bedford players into mistakes as Melvin takes a pick, tries to get around it. Powers gets it back. And he'll give it to Johnson, who looks to punish the smaller Bedford defender inside. And I believe they'll give that ball to Bedford. Johnson was unhappy with that call, and you can kind of tell why. It seemed like a little bit of a scuffle there.
Yeah, I don't like that call either, Aditya. That one clearly went off the Bedford player, but refs can't be perfect. People aren't perfect, and ref just missed that one there.
Yeah, I think this fan section wanted to travel there on number 14, who put the shot fake up as Melvin will take it all the way and is unable to finish that one, but a good move. Johnson getting the rebound. Powers with a nice little running floater, unable to finish. So it'll stay 5-4 Bedford. and they will settle here. Taking the pick is number 1 for Bedford, their point guard. Gives it to 14, who is unable to keep possession, but Melvin is unable to keep it in bounds. It'll stay Bedford ball with 18 left on the shot clock.
And some nice defense here from Bedford early on. Only have allowed free throws, so Wayland's offense really hasn't been able to get going, and they got to fix that soon.
Yeah, and another great defensive play by Anjali there, throwing off the shot by Bedford, which will give the ball back with 2.5 left. Reneker slows it down and will take it up the court. Bedford up 5-4 here. Powers at the wing, feed it into Johnson, who looks to attack the basket and cannot finish with the left hand. The fans wanted a foul, and you can see why. A lot of contact there, but won't get it. Bedford has numbers, but not a great pass there. They'll feed it inside. Johnson on defense against number 25, and they'll call a foul on Johnson. And Gabe, I have to say there, that's some inconsistency, because it looked like Johnson was hammered on the layup on the other end, but a call there on her defensively. What'd you see?
Yeah, I don't know if I like that one. Johnson just had her hands up, was just playing defense, normal defense, and 25 of Bedford really just lowered the shoulder and tried to get in, which is honestly not a bad move, but it is a foul. But unfortunately, the ref called it the other way.
Yeah, one thing Bedford's been able to do, I believe they've missed 1 free throw so far, but they've been to the line a couple times, gotten some calls, and have made their free throws for the most part, which is why they have a 2-point lead.
And you know what they say, Aditya, games are won and lost at the free throw line at every level of the sport. So really important to cash in at the line when you have the chance.
And Bedford does just that yet again, and they will make it a 2-possession game, the largest lead for either team so far today at, I believe it should be 8-4, or no, it is 7-4. My apologies. So it's a 3-point game as Powers gets back to her own miss. Melvin, no hesitation. A splash, and she ties the game up at 7. And the fan section is getting into it here, and that's huge for Wayland. Gabe, you have to believe they're feeding off that energy.
Yeah, the first made field goal here for Wayland all game, and a great one there. Great range from Haley Melvin. She's now 1 for 3 from 3-point land on the game. Very solid percentage.
Yeah, but like you talked about, Gabe, no hesitation. You can tell she's very confident in her shot. Make or miss, she believes it's going in. That's huge as this game winds down, as it looks like it might be a close one. So, you know, the ones who are willing to make or take that last shot are usually the ones who are able to make it. So, but Bedford yet again getting back to the line and making their free throws, and that's why they have the lead. We talked about Wayland getting their first field goal here with 4 points from free throws, but Bedford, most of their points from free throws too. So this is a game, like you talked about, a lot of games are won and lost at the free throw line. This looks like it could be one of those, as Bedford, with a rarity, misses that one. So Wayland brings it up with 1.5 left, down 1. Melvin, again, attacking the basket, but a easy travel call there. Just took that extra step.
Yeah, I didn't think she expected defense to be that tight on her. Number 1, playing very aggressive defense on Melvin this game, and playing pretty well as of right now. I know she hit that 3, but on the drives, she's been all over that.
Yeah, and substitutions for Wayland there, we couldn't see it as number 1 misses a 3. And another foul call on Wayland defensively here. But the substitutions, as it looks, number 10, Morgan Warner will come in for Wayland, as will number 32 and number 11. As Bedford shoots another 3, and that one's pure. Bedford's second 3, first one was a bank shot from the top of the key, and they will now establish the largest lead in the game, which is 4. Wayland comes right back, but Warner's unable to make that one. And with 1 minute left, Bedford brings it up with a 2-possession lead.
I like that confidence from Warner, though, shooting that. They expect Melvin to shoot it, but if she's not going to, someone else has to. And Warner showing great aggressive traits shooting the basketball.
Yeah, Melvin brings it up, gives it right ahead to 32, who is off on the layup, but she gets her own rebound. And a travel call, and that is interesting. Looks like she got slapped on the hand a couple times before she was able to take that up the step, but the refs have seen it, or saw it differently, I should say. So Bedford will have the ball. Feed it in again. Good defense there, but just overpowering. No call there, but on the follow, 23 makes it and extends the largest lead, as Wayland will look for the final shot. It is a 13-7 game with 15-ish left in the first quarter.
Here's McQuilkin.
And a quick shot there, a good one just off the rim. And a foul called. I believe that'll go on Warner, who was fighting for the rebound. And less than 10 left in this first quarter. Bedford 13, Weling 7. Should probably be the last possession of the game. And looks like it will be.
Weling trying to fake him out. Weling fans with the shot.
Yeah, and air ball there. And that'll end the first quarter of basketball at all here for Wayland. Wayland girls varsity basketball. Wayland Stu Press Network's live coverage is including me, Aditya Weling, alongside Gabe Likerman. And 8 minutes gone. It's a 13-7 game. Bedford up. Gabe, what'd you see there in that first quarter?
I saw some sloppy offense for Wayland. I'm just going to be honest. They've made one field goal all game. The rest of their points have been from free throws. And their defense hasn't actually played that bad. It's really just been fouls called on them. And Bedford's just been making their free throws, cashing in at the line, just like Wayland has been. But
Absolutely.
I think Bedford's just been more aggressive. Bedford has just been more aggressive, drawing more contact and getting to the line. And Wayland's just got to do the same. Wayland's got to play their game, and I believe they'll come back in the second quarter.
Absolutely, and you can probably imagine that's what Coach Rextalis is telling her team right now, that they're not that far off, but to take it one possession at a time. Their defense, Bedford only has 13 here, and I know for high school that might seem like an okay amount, but if you really look at it, Wayland's played great defense. They've gotten their hands actively both in the passing lanes and getting steals. So it's just been Bedford. Really, it's been calls for both sides. You talk about Wayland with one field goal, but they still have 7 for those points from free throws. Bedford, at least more than half of their points from free throws too. Bedford's been getting a lot of calls. Wayland, especially the fan section, hasn't been happy with it. That's to be expected, but a lot of it is warranted. It seemed some inconsistency so far. Let's see if Wayland can push through that, or if the refs, tighten up here a little bit, as Reniker is back in the game. Melvin, and it is the starting lineup that'll start. And a beautiful play drawn up there. Johnson tries to go up for, and they call it travel. That is interesting, Gabe. I didn't see that one.
That is, I'm just going to say it again. I've been saying it a couple times a game. That's not a good call. That's not a good call. Johnson seemed to be wrestling for the ball. Both players seem to have it in their hands, but just call it travel on Johnson there. Wayland, unlucky break again.
Yeah, and Bedford now look to capitalize on that call. Up 6 here, and a beautiful move. The point guard, number 1 for Bedford, has been attacking the lane, and she extends Bedford's lead, the largest of the game, 8. It's 15-7.
And now Johnson here, beautiful
Johnson
move.
Unable to finish the layup, but a beautiful move like we talked about, Gabe. And Bedford will bring it back up. One difference you have to see here, Gabe, as Bedford with a beautiful move, number 23 with the left hand, makes it a 10-point game, 17-7. But Gabe, one thing you have to say, Bedford is moving the ball much better than Wayland is offensively. The ball is swinging around, it's not staying in one place. It looks like Wayland's really congested there in the middle. So see if they can clean that up.
It feels like it's been easy for them on offense at E2. It's just like they've been playing all year, and it's not their first game of the season. Wayland, however, looking a little sloppy on the offensive end.
Yeah, and just there again, Reniker throws it right to the point guard. Melvin, miscommunication, and a beautiful, nice little pass there. And Bedford, a good timeout there, Gabe, by Rextalis. That game was getting away from Wayland, and she wants her team. You can see her, telling them to wake up, because right now it's ballooned from I believe Bedford's gone on is it an 8-0 run so far,
yeah,
from 11-7,
something like that,
something
yeah.
along those lines. Actually, it was tied at 7, so it's a 12-0 run by Bedford here, and that's unacceptable for the coach. We're 1.5 minutes in to the second quarter here. It is 19-7 Bedford. And Gabe, what does Wayland have to do to turn this around? Because this is just looks like it might be getting out of hand soon.
They just got to avoid the turnovers. We've seen a number of them here with the travel calls. I know some of them have been haven't been the clearest of calls, haven't been the best of calls either, but they just got to focus up on that end. They can't turn the ball over. As you see, Reneker at the end passes it right to a Bedford defender. You just can't do that. You just can't have this many turnovers. The amount of turnovers that Wayland's had, and it hasn't even been halfway through the second quarter yet, is just amazing. And of course, if you have that many turnovers, Bedford gets that many more offensive possessions, that many more chances to score the basketball.
Yeah, something key you said there earlier, Gabe. It really does look like this is Wayland's first game of the season. For Bedford, it looks like they've been playing for a while here. And, that's not great, especially when, you're trying to win a game at your home court and it looks like you're still shaking off the rust. Let's see how long it'll take Wayland to do that. As Johnson skips it across to Melvin, no hesitation. And she misses a three. Wayland gets the rebound, but a big block there. And Johnson with the hustle will keep it on Wayland's side.
Now, here's Elisa Day on the inbound.
Powers atop the key, waiting for something. And it's been a lot of this, Gabe, so far. It's just been, and she can't make that. But Johnson with the rebound, a putback. And that's going to be big for them because you can tell Bedford has a lot of big players they can put on Johnson and create some mismatches for some other of these smaller Wayland wing players as Bedford takes a three and makes it, and they're just on fire right now.
Wayland just got lost on defense there. That player ended up getting wide open. A great play design there by the Bedford coach. And Bedford capitalizes.
One thing we always see, especially at the high school level, as Powers takes a jump shot, is off with that one. Melvin unable to get the rebound. Bedford will settle. But one thing we always see is that good defense can always turn to offense. And another easy three rims out, but that's lucky by Wayland. I don't know where the defense was. As Melvin will look to attack, she does. Unable to get there, but it gets the rebound back. Another miss here. I believe that was
Elisa Day.
And Bedford will keep it. Less than 5 here to go in the second quarter. And an easy three here again. And this is just, as she misses that one, but that's just as the fan section is getting into it here. Bedford just keeps getting their misses, and that, Gabe, you can tell. The coach is not going to be happy with that. That just looks like a lack of effort.
Wayland just fell asleep. Wayland just fell asleep on that one. How are you going to let the shooter who took the shot just get her own rebound? That is embarrassing for Weling. They got to wake up.
Yeah, as Powers looks to take it. And it's just another steal here by Bedford. It's just a lot of iso ball. And Bedford is moving it around. You can see it here, giving it inside. And that is a travel. But Bedford's just moving the ball a lot as Weling will make a substitution, try to shake things up. Powers will come out, as will Elisa Day. But yeah, something definitely has to change here for Weling as they're down 15 as we are around halfway through the second quarter.
Here's McQuilkin.
Sean's at the top of the key, and they need to find to get it inside. Either Johnson as Melvin takes a three, and that's pure. That's her second three of the game. She certainly has no hesitation on this as the fan section is getting into it here. That was big for Wayland as they are now down 12, and that is just overpowering. There's nothing Wayland can do about that. Bedford has clear mismatches here, as you can see immediately Wayland trying to get a bigger substitution into the game to combat Bedford's size. And that's another miscommunication. Bedford will get the ball. And nice little spot up three there. But Bedford again getting the rebound, can't finish it, and it'll go Wayland's way.
Yeah, Bedford's just bigger right now. They're just playing better, and they're just playing angrier. They're really winning. They're getting so many offensive and defensive rebounds. Weling just can't compete, and they've got to be better on the glass.
Yeah, now giving a Johnson a break. So let's see how that impacts them as 32 comes in. Melvin tried to get a three there, but nice closeout by Bedford. McQuilkin will give it to Melvin, who will give it up. Trying to get it inside. A good pass there and draws a foul. So, that's the first time, Gabe, I can remember Weling playing a good, solid offensive, being patient and getting the ball inside, drawing a foul there. They need a lot more of that if they want to get back in this game.
Yeah, they have been playing very sloppy and not very aggressive. That's an aggressive move to the basket. And the first free throw is good. Cashes in, and Wayland will be down by 13. Bedford has double the points. And an air ball there on the second free throw, and Wayland will give the ball back to Bedford here.
Yep, a little less than 3 until half. Wayland has half the points as much as Bedford, and that's just too easy. Getting the ball inside, but a block there. Beautiful play. McQuilkin now on the break. She wants it. She'll get it, but it's a little too far for her, and that is crushing. The fan section doesn't like it, but you can see the ball bounced on the black.
It wasn't the best pass to Aditya.
Yeah.
McQuilkin was wide open on the fast break, and she has the speed to really go coast to coast, and she did. Just couldn't find her on that pass there.
Yeah, Bedford moving the ball around again, trying to get inside, and they do. And they'll give it out, but a great defensive play by Anjali, who looked to push it up this time. And McQuilkin will get it, and she'll draw a foul. So Wayland has gotten the fast break a couple of times. First time weren't able to capitalize. This time they'll get a foul. And McQuilkin will be at the line for 2, trying to cut into this 13-point Bedford lead. But Gabe, you know, we talk about, you look at the free throw line right now. Bedford is just towering over most of Wayland's top players in there. How is Wayland going to be able to combat this size that Bedford's throwing at them?
Well, they just gotta use their speed and quickness, Aditya.
Yeah.
When you're bigger, you tend, I'm not saying it's always true, but you tend to lack quickness. We see it in the NBA. The big men can't really keep up with the guards, and that if Wayland has smaller players, that means they're going to be faster. That means that generally they're going to be faster, and they got to use that to their advantage on offense.
Yeah, you see Wayland switching to what looks like a 3-2 zone here, so they're trying to combat that Wayland size, or Bedford size, I should say. They get a 3 here, and they make that, and that's just something you have to live with, Gabe. If you're Wayland, you can't be everywhere in a 3-2 zone. There's obviously holes. That's what, you know, especially at the varsity level, you're able to attack those holes, but you know, that's probably their best defensive possession in a while, if you ask me.
Yeah, any coach, you can ask any coach, any basketball coach, they'd rather have an open 3 than an open layup, and Wayland, as you said, they'll live with that one.
That is just a demolishing block. Both number 10 and 25 were just all over that layup attempt. And a clear travel there by 10. So Wayland, you know, Gabe, switching to the zone, you see less zone in the varsity than you do at, college levels, but still, you know, it's a very team-oriented defense. You know, everyone needs to be on the same page, and that's what Wayland's trying to do here, trying to counteract those easy layups that Bedford's getting. Bedford will stay in man. It looks like they're switching on pretty much everything, trying to make sure Melvin doesn't get off, but she drives to the basket, and it's and 1. But no, it'll be a foul call on that is, wow. Fan section was...
I'll finish that sentence for you. Not a good call,
Yeah.
Aditya, yet again. Melvin finishing through contact spectacularly, but the refs just rob her of those points.
It definitely did not look like the Bedford defender got there in time. And a missed layup there for Bedford. She gets the call here, number 10, who's been all over the glass. But back to that play, Gabe. That's tough for Wayland to live with, because that's a huge momentum changer. Now it might go from what could have been a 12-point game to, if these 2 free throws hold, for what's been a good free throw shooter in 10 so far. She missed the first one, what could be a 16-point game. So with the crowd is about to get ready for that, with one minute left in the half, that could have been huge for Wayland going in, getting a little run here, cut it to single digits maybe. But now Wayland will be down 16. And the refs, you know, obviously no one's biased here, we're not accusing that, but they've certainly been very, very friendly to Bedford and not as much to Wayland so far. There's Melvin in the middle of the lane, looks to get it off. There's a lot of standing around, but Melvin will miss.
And she's got to take shots, Aditya. No one else on Wayland seems to be aggressive enough to shoot the ball, and Melvin, as the captain of this team, knows it's has to be upon her.
A beautiful pass there, and that is misses 2 layups, but forces it out of bounds. But Gabe, to be honest here, it just does not look like Weling has any chance on the glass, especially on the defensive end. The amount of offensive boards for Bedford has got to be up there.
It's got to be in the double digits easily right now, Aditya. Number 25, number 10, they are just all over the glass for Bedford. They're giving them those extra possessions, extra shots, and they're the reason that they're up in this game.
Yeah, number 10 and 25 really, as Powers gets a steal there. 10 and 25 just pulverized Wayland as Powers looks to push it, but, you know, a little mistake there, dribbles it off her foot, so it'll be Bedford ball now with 14 left, and they'll slow it down, probably look for the last shot as the fan section tries to throw them off, but I think they won't be fooled this time. But it is backcourt. Beautiful defense there. Powers again, 2 straight times she forces a Bedford turnover, and now with 4 seconds left, Welland will try to cut in to this 16-point lead. You can see they're definitely going to try to get it to Melvin here, and they will. Wow, and that is a shot there, Melvin. She's still down. It doesn't look like it was an advertent shot, but she will be checked on.
The medical team will come out. Here's Coach Wickstalis out there talking to her star player.
Yeah, she's now up and seems to be talking to them, so I think it was just a run-in, might have lost her wind there. Was going full speed. They called a foul, and then number 10, who, you know, probably the biggest player on the floor here, was just standing there. Couldn't have seen her. But with 3.2 left, it'll be Wayland ball. I believe at half again, so the refs pointing that out, and can't really tell who's in the bonus or not, but Bedford is lining up at the free throw line, so it looks like it will be free throws for Melvin.
And Melvin actually looks like she won't be able to take them.
She won't be able to take them,
So I think McQuilkin, Annie McQuilkin, the younger sister of Alex, they're both on the team.
Coming to take these ones, and I believe she's had free throws already, 1 for 2, if I remember correctly. She misses the first one, and it's a 1-and-1 in varsity basketball, and that's how the first half of this first game for Wayland girls varsity basketball will end. It is at 30 Bedford, Wayland 14. You have been watching Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of Wayland girls varsity basketball. Wayland Warriors against the Bedford Buccaneers. My name is Aditya Weling. Alongside me was Gabe Likerman, and we'll be back for the second half. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of Wayland Varsity basketball. My name is Aditya Weling. Alongside me is Gabe Likerman, and today we're going to be getting ready for the second half of the Wayland Warriors against the Bedford Buccaneers. It is a 30-14 lead for Bedford. They have dominated it, especially on the glass, and have gone to the line a bunch early here, and they will start with the ball as we get ready for 16 more minutes of the first varsity game at all, with the boys coming up later this week for Wayland. So let's see if Wayland can claw back in this game. Gabe, what's it going to take for them to be able to do so?
They're going to have to be smarter on offense. They have to hold on to the ball. They're having a ton of turnovers on the offensive end, and Bedford's just been capitalizing off them. That's why they have this lead. They just gotta tighten up on the offensive end.
Yeah, you see a steal there by Anjali, who's gotten, I believe that's her 3rd or 4th. She's been really active. As Melvin, who's going to have to be, Gabe, you have to believe, the main catalyst if Wayland's able to get back in this game. Is she is probably definitely the best shooter and is up there as her best players. Anjali goes to the basket and gets fouled. Surprised that one wasn't called a charge, Gabe, because a lot of those have been called a charge on Wayland, but they give a block to Bedford as Anjali will go to the line for the second time tonight.
And that was a great take by Anjali, very aggressive. She knew what she wanted. She wanted to get to the basket, and a smart play there, drawing the foul.
Absolutely.
She makes the first, and this will cut Bedford lead in half. Second free throw is up and good, Now Weling down by just 14.
Yeah, it's going to be about getting to the line, being aggressive, and especially defensively, just not letting up. As Bedford has numbers, and that's just too easy. That cannot happen if you're trying to get back in this game. That's a 3-on-2 off of a made free throw. I mean, any coach has to be mad at that.
Sammy Johnson gets the
That
pass
should be
intended
Weling
for
ball.
her, but
Okay, that is interesting, Gabe. From this angle, I believe any angle, that definitely looked like it went off the Bedford defender. So I don't know exactly how that one was called Bedford ball, but
yeah,
it is.
Melvin's pass is a little inside, so the Bedford player had great positioning on it and knocked out of bounds, but I guess the ref might have seen something different or just must have saw it
See
incorrectly.
Wayland on the press here. It'll stay Bedford, but Wayland showing a little, I wouldn't say desperation, but definitely some urgency here, bringing out the press and playing a little closer up on there. They go back to a man. They're playing 3-2 for a little. But number 10 is who they really have to stop, and they are not able to this time. She scores, she gets another layup, and she has to definitely be in double figures so far. You know, I think the real problem here is, you know, they're putting Johnson, who's definitely their biggest player, on number 25, as you see right now, which leaves number 10 to be on players like Powers, as Melvin misses her three. Number 10's on players like Powers and Anjali, who are certainly great defenders, but as you can see now, just a massive height difference, and she's taking advantage of it as 25 lines up three, misses. Anjali with a rebound, and Wayland will bring it up. Bedford with their biggest lead of the game at 18.
And I like Wayland playing his zone. It doesn't seem Bedford have hit 1 or 2 3-pointers this game, and they just gotta continue to let that happen, because honestly, Bedford's killing them on the drive in on the offensive rebounds. If they just let Bedford shoot some more threes, I think they can live with it and maybe get some more rebounds.
Yeah, Renneker, good attacking drive there, able to draw a foul. And I think right after that, that's why 5 comes out. Number 12 will come in, and she is hard on Renneker. Renneker tried to break free from it. She's unable to, so it'll come into Johnson instead. And call thought that was a foul, but apparently that'll just be out of bounds. Looked like there was a tug on Johnson, but no call there. So it'll stay Bedford ball, or sorry, become Bedford ball.
You can just hear Coach Rickstall yelling at her players.
Yeah.
I can make out a "what are you doing?" She is clearly frustrated with the way her girls are playing.
But bringing up the press here, it seems to be working, but Bedford is able to get out of it somehow. Probably cutting it close on the time marker. Number 10, that's just too easy. She misses the layup there, but Gabe, that's on 3 Weling defenders. There is no excuse for allowing that to happen. As Powers brings it up, gives to Anjali, who has no hesitation. She misses a 3. Melvin tries to get to it, and she's able to force it for a Wayland possession here. But down 18 here, Bedford makes a quick substitution. And Wayland with 5.5 left in this third quarter look to make a little bit of a dent in this Bedford lead, as Melvin has it on the corner looking for something. She just doesn't see anything and able to draw a foul there. And you can tell Melvin's trying to make something happen, but just not enough movement. And that's really been the story of the game for Wayland.
And Bedford know that Melvin, number 5, I don't know if they know her name, but they just know number 5, that's the player they've got to watch out for the most. And they're watching her so far to start this half. Great halftime adjustment by the Bedford coach.
Yeah, you can see double pretty much every time she gets in the paint. They give it to Anjali, who's able to draw a foul. She'll go to the line for the second time in this half. So she's been aggressive, but you just saw there, Melvin gets in the paint and she's doubled immediately, almost tripled there as 10 came flying across trying to get the steal. And you see Melvin talking to the coach right now. Coach Rickstall is definitely trying to give her some tips on how to get everyone involved as Anjali makes a free throw. But yeah, it's tough. You can especially Bedford definitely has some players who've played against Melvin before. She was on the team last year, and the coach probably knows her too. So they knew coming into this game that they need to focus on 5, and they've done that so far. And that's why they're up 16. Wayland's press. Bedford able to get out of it, and they're on the break. 10 is calling for it. unable to get it, but Bedford keeps it, will swing it around. 10 with a shot, and that's a miss. But a nice rebound attempt there will force a foul on number 25.
Yeah, over the back. She was being a little too aggressive trying to get that rebound.
Yeah, Weling will keep it. Melvin will take it up. Less than 5 in this third quarter. And Gabe, if you ask me, if Weling's going to make any dent in this lead and try to make this a game in the fourth quarter, it needs to come now. And, you know, at this meat of the third quarter, they need to make something happen. As Powers attempts a nice little runner, misses it, gets a rebound, and puts it back up. Weling up to 20 now. It is a 14-point game.
And that looked really Bedford-esque there, shooting, getting your own offensive rebound and cashing in.
But again, on the other end, it is just too easy. I don't know what happened on the press there. I think Weling, some of their players thought they were going to head back, and some of their players stayed. So Bedford got out of it quick, was able to get in the break as Powers gets past her defender, but just throws it away. And now Bedford's on the break again. It's a 2-on-3. 25 will keep it, go easily inside to 10. He misses the layup.
Lineker with the rebound. She's going to take this one up.
Yeah, and she attacks, but has to give it out. Melvin is able to keep it on the Weling side as Weling will make 2 substitutions. Anjali and Powers will come out, and Andy McQuilkin and number 32 will come in as McQuilkin makes a quick impact, gets inside for a layup, and it's back to a 14-point game. Weling trying to deploy the press here, but it'll result in a foul on 10, who's had her fingerprints all over this game.
That was a great move by McQuilkin. You said making an immediate impact. She gets in, makes a great move, driving in, hitting a nice shot from in the paint.
Yeah, Weling finally able to set up the press, see if they can keep Bedford in half court for a little, but unable to, and wow. Johnson with a big rejection there, getting the fan section hyped. You can see him.
But I think it's going to be called a foul.
But a foul is called there. And gotta say, Gabe, I didn't see a foul there, but to be expected considering the refereeing has not been very Weling friendly, to say the least, so far in this game.
They haven't been. The ball doesn't lie as she misses.
Yeah, I was just about to say. He didn't go up too strong with a layup, and Johnson just said, get that out of here. But might have gotten a little of her at the end. The refs give her the foul, misses the first. Weling with some energy here, especially in the student section, and she'll make the second one. So it'll be a 15-point game, 37-22, with 3.5 left in the third quarter. Melvin will get the ball, looks to Patrick Stalls for a play, and she'll bring it up. But a steal by Bedford's point guard. She'll miss the layup, but number 10, of course, getting the rebound. Another miss here by the point guard number 1. And foul call on number 10 there. McQuilkin fighting for the ball, so she's been active and energetic here coming through the game. As 23 will come in for 10, who picked up a foul there.
Now,
so
when 10's out of the game, this is where Weling's got to capitalize.
I was just about to say, yeah.
10 is one of their biggest threats on both offense and defense, so
yeah,
it's great to have her out of the game.
And Weling shouldn't have as much of a problem with the size as they do when 10's on the court, because 10, 25, and 23 seem to be too much. And a foul call on Weling there. Gabe, I have no idea what you just called.
If I knew, I would have said it, but I really don't know. I watch a lot of basketball, and I have not seen that called before.
The players have been frustrated for Weling, but that's the first time you've seen the coaches, get up and voice their frustrations. They don't seem to be happy with these calls, and that's very warranted. As Johnson will D up on number 25. Now number 1, the point guard, who's had a great game today, will settle. She has to pick up her dribble, looking for someone. Almost gets the ball stolen, instead puts it up, and it's an air ball. And the fan section lets her know about it, but she somehow gets back to the ball. Active hands from her. 25, fakes the shot, gives it back out. She'll put a shot up, and she splashes it, and she lets the fan section know. And that's just a crusher for Weling there. They had a great defense possession going, tried to get the rebound. Instead, it goes right back to the point guard, and she makes them pay with her second and third three of the game as Reneker looks to attack the basket. She will. Nothing doing. It'll be Bedford on the break. 14 takes it straight there. Puts it up. Misses the layup. It's a fight underneath. Should be
Foul called there.
It's a foul on Bedford. They seem to be unhappy about it, but that should be Whalen Ball. Joining us, you are watching Whalen Student Press live coverage of Whalen Varsity Basketball. My name is Aditya alongside me is Gabe Likerman, and you are getting ready for the final 10 minutes of this first game of the Whalen Girls Varsity season, as McQuilkin will go to the line, so looks like they should be in the bonus. It's a 1-on-1, so we'll see if she can make this first one, as Reneker is voicing her frustrations to the coach on the bench. McQuilkin makes it. So it's a 17-point game. See if she can capitalize on the second one. And Gabe, you certainly expect Whalen to go right onto the press here, make a dent in this waning minutes of the third quarter.
And she makes it there. 16-point game. And Whalen, they don't think they're out of it yet.
Nor should they. And Bedford easily again able to get out of the press, and that's just being hurting Whalen because they've been able to get on the break and just feed it inside.
Yeah, I'm just going to say what everyone else is thinking. The press is not working. The press is not working.
Absolutely. But good hustle there by McQuilkin. See, the fan section appreciates that. She almost got to that ball, but it'll stay with Bedford. A little over 1.5 to go. Now. But Powers unable to get the rebound. Heave back up, and that'll miss. And the fan section again will let her know about it. So Wayland with possession, 80 seconds left in this third quarter, down 16. Probably gave this as a huge offense possession. If they're able to make something here and then get back, they can end this third quarter on a good run. And foul will be called.
A very aggressive defense there from 20.
Yeah, Whalen's in the bonus, so Melvin with a 1-on-1.
I'm really confused when I saw that. She legitimately just pulled Melvin to the ground.
I think that the Bedford knows the only way they can stop Melvin is by, just playing as aggressive as they can. And that one just went a little overboard. Melvin misses the first free throw, but Whalen will get the rebound. It's a jump, and it'll stay Whalen ball as Bedford got the last one. So a little over a minute to go as you see Coach Rexall's called to play to her group out there. McQuilkin will inbound it. She'll look to give it to Powers. And they'll look to get it inside. Powers outside the top of the key. Not much movement to get it in there. And that's just bad basketball, Gabe. Easy break to 14. Not sure what happened there. Missed the layup, but they get the ball back. And a missed jumper there from the point guard, but again, 25 gets the rebound, and it'll be an offensive foul. So Whalen ball here, a little over 45 to go.
And Powers has had a couple turnovers today. She has not been at her best. We've seen what she can do when she was at her best last season. She was on the team.
Yeah, pretty much everyone, Gabe, you have to say, is not looking as sharp as they were near the end of last season, where Whalen kind of hit their stride. Even Melvin, you see that's a bad pass there. Number 1 has played great for Bedford. She, with no hesitation, puts a 3 up, misses. It'll be off Bedford, so Whalen ball, and with less than 30, you'll expect them to try to take the final shot. Melvin, she shot, I believe, 7 or 8 threes, only made 2 or 3, so she's definitely not at her best either. So Whalen's definitely going to try to build off of this, win or lose, but they're still in the moment. They're trying to take this game. With McQuilkin, no hesitation, puts up a 3, misses. Powers with the rebound. Melvin thought about it. She'll go back out to Powers. Powers takes the baseline, misses the floater. Whalen with some toughness there. A foul on a travel, actually. So with 1 second left, Whalen will try to make something out of this. End the third quarter on a good note. And as of now, we'll end the way it started with Bedford with a 16-point lead. Johnson puts it up, misses the 3. So that'll do it for the third quarter of Wayland Girls Varsity Basketball. You are watching Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of the Wayland Warriors against the Bedford Buccaneers. My name is Aditya alongside me is Gabe Likerman. And Bedford will cling to this 16-point lead. Came into the half with a 16-point lead, so they certainly look comfortable. It was a 10-10 quarter in the third. Certainly not bad for Wayland, but not what they needed to get back in this game. They'll need a Herculean effort in the fourth quarter. Gabe, win or lose, what do you think Wayland can take for this game?
They can take that there's a lot of rust to be shrugged off going into their next games. They got to have a hard, good week of practice before their next one. And that's just what it's going to take. First game of the season, there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs. Maybe this game a little more downs for Wayland, but they're going to shrug it off. I think they'll have a great season.
Absolutely. And as we get ready to start and finish this first game of the Wayland Girls Varsity Basketball season, about 8 minutes left and a 16-point lead. So certainly have their work cut out for them, but as you talked about, Gabe, they win or lose can look to improve as have the entire season left. So they get out of the huddle here. Sure, Coach Rosales is letting them know best thing they can do now is just leave it all out there. They start in with the starting lineup, so definitely going to try to make their push. But you can expect if the game does not get any closer that she'll empty the bench out, give some newer players a good look. But it'll start with Bedford. And Gabe, on Bedford's side, it's really the person who's about to get the ball right now, number 1 and number 10, maybe 25 in a lesser degree, who've just been dominating this game. One was wide open in the paint there, didn't get the ball. But just a lot of movement, Gabe. You can see it. There's just a lot of movement and travel call there. There's just not that movement on the Wayland offensive end, and that's really been the difference in this game. Wayland obviously has the fan advantage here, but it just hasn't mattered because they haven't been making their shots because they've been tougher shots than what Bedford's had to take. Melvin has to put up a wild layup there. She's just not gotten the help that she needs so far.
She's been one of the only players on this team to make a field goal. She's been the only player on Wayland to make a field goal multiple times in this game, Aditya. She is...
Yeah, that's just a telling stat.
Yeah, she just is not getting that much help on offense, and Wayland's got to help her out on that end.
Yeah, it'll be a jump. Stay at Wayland, so Wayland gets their last 2 jump balls. And Reniker will take it up. And you can see, Reniker just has nowhere to go with the ball. Either she beats her defender, and then she has the two biggest players in the court waiting for her. And that's just not a recipe for success. You can see how they're hounding Wayland. They just have no shot if this continues. As Johnson makes something out of nothing and makes a layup, makes it a 14-point game. Wayland will reintroduce the press, which has been unsuccessful so far, and it will continue to be, except for Melvin, who makes a great steal, tries to get rid of it, but it'll go right back to Bedford. 14 will settle, and just a wide open 3 for 15, in and out. But what else but an offensive rebound? 25 misses the layup though. Powers will bring it up. 6.5 left in the game. She'll look to push. Gives it right out to Anjali, no hesitation. She misses that time. And Bedford on the break. Number 10, who's been the best player so far today. She will be called for a travel or for a push-off. Actually, an offensive foul. And Gabe, I know there's been a lot of questionable calls that have gone against Wayland. That one, I didn't see much of a push-off from number 10 there. I thought that was a clean layup. I thought that would actually be an and 1. But it goes Wayland's way there, and you might say that's just the balance of the game, you know what I mean?
And with how tall she is, I was kind of surprised that wasn't a dunk, Aditya.
Yeah.
She's very tall.
Reniker able to beat the defense. She'll try to put it up. Surprised no foul was called there. But it will stay Bedford ball. 6 left in this one, as Wayland will bring up the press. And Gabe, you talked about it. This press does not seem successful. I'm surprised they either haven't introduced a different press, or as miscommunication there. Weling will keep the ball. But yeah, like you talked about, I don't know if they just don't have another press to institute or if they're just sticking with this one because that's all they really know so far early in the season. But timeout, I think, was called there. But what have you seen? How has Bedford been able to break this press, and how has that led to them getting on the break and scoring?
Just off the ball movement. Everyone's moving off the ball, and the person who catches the pass is just always eyes up, head up, looking for the ball, looking for someone to pass to. Sorry. Ball up, though. They have the ball up so that the Weling players, it's harder for them to steal it. Looking for a pass, and they're finding it every single time.
Yeah, if you really want to see
to get a steal.
why this is a 14-point game with 6 minutes left, just look at the beginning. Point guard, whoever's bringing it up, by a Bedford defender with a lot of congestion in the middle and no real movement. And then on the other side, you'll see Bedford swinging the ball around the place, getting open threes, open layups, a bunch of offensive rebounds, and just terrorizing Weling on the glass and in terms of effort. So looks like Weling will set up it'll be Weling ball. We'll bring it up. 6 left exactly now. 14-point deficit for Weling. See if they can cut into it. Melvin will give it out to Anjali, who will give the powers, who resets here. And just look at this. Unable to get anything going. They just have to weave it around and hope something happens. Anjali puts it up. Easy block there by 25. He's had a bunch of those. Johnson, though, able to get to it. Renneker tried the reverse layup. Can't finish. Bedford bring it up. It's a 2-on-2. They'll settle. And just look at this offensive movement, possession. Able to get some open shots for their teammates. And it's just such a stark difference. And that's what Weling will look to achieve as their season moves forward.
And the reason they're taking a while in this possession is just because they want to make the clock tick down.
See, the fan section trying to get them frazzled, but they won't. Instead, it'll be a missed layup by 14 there, and then a foul on the rebound chance on Bedford. So Weling will retain possession. And from the looks of it, looks like Whaling's already in the bonus, which is surprising as Johnson heads to the line for what is presumed to be on one-on-one. A little over 5 to go on this one, and Weling will need a whole lot of this if they want to even have a chance at the end of the game. As Johnson misses the first one. Anjali and Powers will come out, and will come in McQuilkin and number 32. As Johnson misses both. Bedford will get the rebound. Number 1, the point guard, will slow it down. No rush here for Bedford. Just under 5 to go. They're just moving it around, trying to kill some clock. Get out of here with a nice road win. And travel there. And Gabe, I know Bedford's up by a lot, but I don't think it's been great basketball by either team. I think it's been a lot of sloppy play, and it's just been who's been able to capitalize on the other team's mistakes.
Yeah, it's just first game of the season, both teams are looking very sloppy. Bedford just being a tad more aggressive on offense, getting all those rebounds.
Yeah, and a good pass there. Melvin just has no place to go. Great defense out of point guard. And number 1, fighting for the ball. She's been fantastic today. Hit a bunch of threes. Was talking to the fan section a little bit. She's been aggressive both offensively and defensively, manning the offense. As Weling will keep the press in. Hasn't been working much today. And try to get a trap in the corner, but it doesn't work. Bedford, again, able to get out of it. On the break here, this time it'll settle. 25 will give it out. Here's number 1.
They're just going to take time off the clock here. They know they have a comfortable lead.
And it will be a foul on Bedford there. I think it was on the pick. So
It's a moving screen, can't do that.
Yeah.
And now Weling will get the ball back.
4 minutes left, and if you're just joining us, you're watching Weling Street Press Network's live coverage of Weling Varsity Basketball. My name is Aditya Weling. Alongside me has been Gabe Likerman, and this is the Weling Warriors against Bedford Buccaneers. Bedford up by 14 here. Travel called on Weling, and Bedford will inbound. 3:53 to go. Weling will keep the press. See if Bedford's able to get out of it yet again. And they will. And an open 25 doesn't get it, but she'll be in the corner. Drive. And nice swinging of the ball. And that's what's been it for Bedford, as they're able to get inside and draw the foul. But it's been a lot of that, swinging the ball around and then beating their man to the basket. Weyling's just been unable to cope. They had a little stint there when they were playing some zone. A timeout called here. You can expect Coach Extall's probably emptying the bench. But other than that stint at zone, it's been a lot of this here.
Yeah, Weling has just not been playing up to their best, and that's expected. It's the first game of the season, long season at that, and they'll be back before you know it, and we'll see a brand new Weling team coming up.
Yeah. Obviously, first game of the season, like you talked about, don't want to judge too harshly here, but
they know, and Coach Rosales knows they have the work cut out for them, so they'll look to get back in the lab and come out with a better show next time. One thing that should be noted is this game, I believe, was supposed to be played last Friday, but was postponed till today, so had a little more time to get some work in, but just did not come out there with their best today, Gabe, and like you said, shouldn't be judged too harshly for this first game of the season. Maybe some jitters here for the newer players, but nonetheless, they'll learn from this and they'll come out next time against whoever the next opponent is and hopefully have a better showing.
Now Weling will come back out on the floor here.
Yeah, it's Bedford free throws.
Bedford will be at the line.
They'll come out with the same lineup, so Rosales not going into a bench yet. 14 here, made a couple plays, couple layups. Hasn't been the biggest story, but certainly has played her part in this pretty dominating Bedford win as it stands.
And free throw off the mark there, so first one's missed. She has another try.
Fan section's on a phaser, and they will this time. And missing both there is number 14, as Renneker immediately gets trapped, able to somehow maintain the ball.
The foul call there, I believe it's
Foul
going to be on Bedford. At least
Yeah.
it should be. And a timeout called by Weling. Another timeout. It seems like 10 seconds ago there was a timeout. Now Weling calls another. And Coach Rosales, Aditya, what do you think at this point in the game? What do you think Coach Rosales is telling your team in the huddle right now?
Gabe, to be honest, I think she's treating this as if this game is still going. Because, by now, like I talked about, I would have expected her to empty out her bench a little bit, get some new faces in there, see how they play. But she's keeping mainly her starters and her some rotation pieces in there. She still wants them to end this game on a good note, win or lose. And, I kind of see what she's doing here, because it's the first game of the season. She doesn't want them to end getting blown out by 20. She wants them to get this to single digits and at least feel good about themselves after this game and try to keep that momentum for the next game.
And now Coach Rosales looks to be drawing up a play on her whiteboard.
Yeah, we're less than 3.5 to go here. And certainly not the result or game I'm sure Weling fans are hoping for, but they're definitely happy to get back in the building. I can
certainly assume that with good faith.
Renneker going to be inbounding here.
And she will get it out to Melvin. See what Melvin does here. Makes a move to the basket. Gives it up to Johnson, who might have gotten blocked for a layup there. She gets back. And will stay Weling ball.
So good hustle there by Johnson.
To Melvin, who tries to give it up to number 32, but instead it goes right back off her hands, back to Bedford. Bedford will again beat the press quite easily and set up their offense. 25 inside. That's been a battle all day. She gets her offensive rebound yet again. Another fight inside. Johnson. And 25. But it'll head to a jump ball.
And now Bedford inbounding, 15 mid-range jumper.
Open shot but misses. Johnson gets the rebound. Aggressive. A little less than 3 to go in this game. Renneker brings it up. She is being hounded and just no help there. And that's a tough situation for any player. McQuilkin somehow gets to it. She misses, but will stay in the fight for the rebound. It pops in the air. Bedford now on the break. 14 has 2 options. She'll get it to number 1, who played great, the point guard, who will get fouled on the layup attempt. 2.5 to go here. She'll shoot 2. It's a 14-point game, and it's been a 2-0 half, Gabe, 2-0 quarter, I should say, for Wayland. So I don't know if Coach Rosales is happy about that, but at least they've won this half total. It's been 12-10 in the second half. Just down by 16 after the first, weren't able to come back.
And Aditya, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm seeing the crowd get a little larger.
Yeah.
And that's due to an IBL league that Wayland is hosting. It's a student-ran league, and it's for, what do you want to call it, amateur players?
Intramural.
Yeah, intramural players to play some basketball, have fun with their friends. But it's still a very competitive league. People still are playing. There was a draft and everything. It's still going to be very competitive, and glad that's happening for this high school community.
Absolutely. And 25 with another rebound here as this game winds down. A little over 2 to go. Moving around here, Bedford just trying to kill some clock. Up 14. And it looks like as the 3 goes up, missed off the glass, but 25 gets the rebound. She'll get fouled. But it looks like Wayland's brought out some of their bench here. So 1:51 to go. This will be around the final score, the final margin, I should say.
Bedford get their first point of the quarter.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even matter. They didn't play tremendous.
Yeah.
Did not play. They played better than their opponent, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
What matters at the
certainly
end
played
is the
better
final
than
score line, and Bedford with a very, very nice win.
See the fan section still into it, and it's great to see that. This is the second one. 15-point lead. Wayland will be McQuilkin into her sister, the other McQuilkin, who was blocked on a layup attempt. So Bedford will bring it back up. And 25 still in the game. She calls for a charge. Pretty easy call there.
And Warner's down.
Warner is still down, so looks like he might have hit the back of her head on the floor, so that's always a bad sign. She seems to be in some pain, so obviously hope the best there. A little less than 1.5 to go, and never want to see that game.
And you hate, and especially this late in the game. The game is I'd say it's safe to say well out of hand for Weling. Safe. It sucks to see
Yeah,
a player
good to
get
s-
injured this late.
Good to see her get up, though. Hopefully she's fine.
And now Wayland will resume play with this final minute 27 in the game.
Yeah. Looks like the ref will let the scoreboard know what's happening. Wayland will inbound the ball. Less than 90 to go. And just waiting for some substitutions, I think.
Now Wayland will inbound.
Here is 14 will give it up to Alex McCorkin, who gives up to Annie McCorkin, who will drive. Nice layup there. She hasn't gotten much time, but this fourth quarter has gotten a lot, and she's just been aggressive. She's made a couple baskets, a couple layups, so she's certainly looked good.
She's playing with a chip on her shoulder, not getting much time, like you said. Wants to show the coach what she's all about. That's her second field goal made in this game.
And an air ball there. Bedford tries to save it, but it'll be Wayland ball again. So let's see if they can end this game on a good note. 13 down, 45 to go. It'll be McQuilkin trying to get it in, but it'll be out of bounds.
Martins touched it last there.
Bedford will beat the press again, and this should be one of the final two possessions of the game. Wayland trying to get a steal there. It'll stay Bedford ball. Up 13 here. Game winding down.
And just trying to hold the ball here. Bedford, Wayland try to get the trap in. Just moving it around. And almost a jump ball. Able to get out of it. 25 will drop to the basket.
And I'm not sure what just happened. And now the game.
That's the final buzzer. And Bedford 41, Wayland 28. You have watched Wayland Student Press Network's live coverage of Wayland girls varsity basketball. It was the Wayland Warriors against the Bedford Bedford Buccaneers, and the visiting team will take the W quite convincingly. 13-point win. It has been Aditya Weling. Alongside me was Gabe Likerman, and thank you for tuning in. See you next time.